Welcome to episode 40 of Dissent Into The Wormhole, where we discuss everything from ancient civilization to modern-day social issues and everything in between. I'm Les.
And I'm Stevie J, and today we're talking about Amber Heard and her band of freeloading, well, I want to say idiots, but they basically freeloaded off Johnny for the entire time they were together, really. But one thing that got me out of that was, out of the court case that we just heard, was that Rocky Pennington, Amber's best friend, stayed at their penthouse longer than Johnny did. What the actual... Anyways, welcome everybody. Welcome. Right off the hop, I got into that. But yeah, she had a whole lot of freeloaders that were mooching off Johnny and just so happy to take and take. But they also went after him. They supported Amber in her false allegations and tried to destroy the man who'd supported them for so long. Horrible. Yeah. Horrible. How you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Superb, actually. Superb.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes, like doing that. Very well.
Good. Yeah, we're still high off the win of Johnny. We're still high off that win. But when you look back and you think of, all of the people who were intertwined in this, and all of the people who were intertwined on Amber's side and got away scot-free. Like, yeah, Amber has to pay 8-point-something million. She doesn't have the money. I don't know how she'll ever do this. Plus, she's got her $7 million that she has to donate. But why are there no extra repercussions? This woman has perjured herself in 3 countries so far that we know of.
Yeah.
That we know of. And involved her friends, involved her family. And there's no repercussions.
No.
I'm just so very, very awfully confused that you can systematically demolish another human being and get away with it scot-free.
Yeah, well, there's no recourse for her at all. I mean, the perjury, like you said, so many places, so many countries, so many times she perjured herself. But like, to me, if we just go back to the core issue of the case, which is, were her allegations false? Were her allegations that Johnny abused her false? And the jury found, yes, they were false statements. Okay, so she lied. They were false statements. Where is the repercussions for making false allegations? Like, just leave that on its own. That's the biggest one, I think, for me. And then there's perjury, of course, because she lied under oath. That's what perjury is about. The allegations themselves, the dog smuggling situation, what she said in the UK, the charity donations. The list just keeps going and going. But if you relate it to the accusation she made of abuse, that Johnny, abused her. Hello, where's the deterrent for other women who may want to come forward and say, oh, yeah, you know what? Stevie J, he did this, and this to me. Wait a second. What are you talking about? Like, but where's the repercussions? Because at the moment, it's just like, oh, well, she did that. Tee-hee, she got away with it. Like, in a legal sense. Of course, you said she's got to pay, which she can't do. Unless there's another Aquanet sequel coming out. Is there another Aquanet sequel?
I don't know, but did you hear the little rumor that she got more time in Aquaman? At first I heard she was out. Now I heard she's in, but she's in not 10 minutes. She's in for 20 minutes. I don't know what to think, but I don't think there's going to be an Aquanet 3 for Amber. I really don't. I think that a lot of Hollywood is going to wash their hands of her because you know what, John, the deaf community I don't feel is ever going to allow her to really be in anything.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is just it though. Like, and I kind of get, in a sense, why she wanted to keep making out like she gave to charity. She's not a likable person. So to say, I donated everything to charity, it makes people sort of go, all right, well, I'll take a step back for a second and just let a few things slide because she's donating to charity. Well, she screwed that one up. And so, yeah, she's not going to be getting any work, I don't think. And I mean, of course, we talked about this the other day. She's a horrible actress. So it's not like she's a Meryl Streep, a Julia Roberts, somebody like that. And the list of better actresses is long. But she's not like she's one of those actresses where studios will go, all right, you're a bit of a dick, but you're such a good actress or actor, we will get you into this role no matter what. So I think she's screwed in that sense. But her friends, right? So she had the freeloader. She had Rocky Pennington. She had Josh Drew as well.
Io.
Io as well. Whitney was one of them, like Amber's sister, but Whitney was one of them.
Yeah.
And so out of those freeloaders, who should we talk about first?
I would say Rocky, because I think she lived there the longest. She did the longest of the freeloading.
Mm-hmm. And she lived
now
longer than Johnny. No, I was just going to throw in longer than Johnny.
That's just it. Oh my God. So the way Amber told the story was that she had just recently broken up with her boyfriend and she had nowhere to live. I don't know why she couldn't live with Amber. I don't know. But apparently Johnny said, I have an empty penthouse. She can stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And she declined at first, which, I'm like, okay, yeah, I would do that too. I would totally decline.
Yeah.
And he just kept pushing and pushing for this. I'm not believing that for some reason.
I want to call bullshit. I just wanted to yell it out there when you said that so bad. I just wanted to be like, bullshit.
what I'm thinking is that Amber pushed it. Yes. Amber pushed it because Amber said that Rocky lived there before Amber did. Something is telling me in her I don't want to call it unstable. I definitely don't want to call it unstable, even though, actions would suggest. In her jealous mind, I highly doubt that Amber was going to allow her newly single friend to live across the hall and for free from her brand new Johnny Depp boyfriend. She wouldn't even allow numbers to be in his phone, never mind a woman living in that close proximity that she created.
Yeah.
So I honestly, I don't know how it all went down, and I'd love to know. But the fact that, so if we take it at face value of what Amber said, Rock said no a few times, then finally, said, okay, fine. Then decided to live there after the separation. Like, she continued to live there and was very open and willing to accept that in Amber's divorce. She was willing to accept that penthouse in Amber's divorce.
Yeah.
Because Amber asked for that specific penthouse that they were living in.
Yeah. Rocky essentially made it or behaved in a way where she actually believed it was hers. Like, this is my place. Huh?
Right.
What freaking planet are you on, lady?
Yeah.
And to what you said before, I totally agree. Like, as if Johnny was like, oh, I need Rocky to live there. Please, Rocky. Please, I need you to live. As if he could give two shits about that. So it was Amber who went to Johnny, full show, and she said, I got this friend. She's got nowhere to live. I want her to live there. Okay. And look, Johnny is generous. He's kind. He is a nice dude. And of course, he had a free spot, so he said, there you go. Go for it. The thing is, they took advantage of his kindness, and it really pisses me off. I mean, you heard Isaac talking about how, he just felt so grateful, and if he could have, given Johnny half his sandwich, he would have. So different. And then, of course, afterwards, like you said, Well, let's backtrack a second. Let's backtrack. So, yes, afterwards, after the divorce and everything, she was quite happy to stay there, Rocky was. But not only that, she was quite happy to destroy the man, lie and destroy the man who had let her stay in this place for so long, rent-free.
Yep.
In this luxury penthouse. I mean, holy shit. She was prepared to do that. She was prepared to do that, to lie about it all, to, set up this hoax and everything. It was all just, do you think it was just all one big joke to these people? Do you think it was just one big joke to them? Like, oh, ha, 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 we'll do this and, we'll get some money and some free stuff. I just can't fathom it.
Well, something. Here's the thing. If one of my friends came to me, say my friend was living across the hall, and I said, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. But they never actually saw anything. Because nothing was actually happening, right?
Right.
But that stuff does happen behind closed doors.
Sure.
People usually don't see it. They usually see like the deterioration of the human themselves.
Right.
They'll never actually see the actual abuse happen, whether it be emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever.
Yeah.
So if my friend, and here's the thing, it's my friend, why would I think my friend was lying to me? Like, that's where I keep going back to.
Yeah.
So I keep thinking, like, does Rocky know it was bullshit? Or is she just as nasty as Amber? Like, I can't figure it out, because I think Josh was just strung along. I don't think Josh ever, I think he was just going on what he was told. He's Mr. Hearsay himself. And so for those who don't know, Josh is also Rocky's ex-husband, and he lived off of Johnny for free as well. And he was in on this too, but I think he was just a pawn. I think he was just another person to kind of go along with it, like another witness that didn't see anything but heard all about it. I don't know. I'm just so very because like I would never think that my friend's lying about something like that, because it's my friend, and I like to think that I chose my friends wisely.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't lie about something like this.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I just don't know. But for her to claim what she said she saw on that final night of May 21st, 2016, I have to say she knows that something's amiss. She has to know that something's a lie.
Well, that's just it. When you go to that, you have to know something is up. You have to know something is not as it seems, you would think. And I was going to go, down the other track too so Rocky lived there, of course, longer than Johnny. But she knew Johnny, right? She spent time with Johnny. She knew Johnny and all of those things. And she also knew Amber. Amber was her best friend. And Amber actually punched her in the face in one of their arguments. So I totally get what you're saying. She should have, she would have believed her friend, right? I get that. They were besties. She would have gone, oh, okay, yeah. Interesting that from Rocky, there wasn't too much about it brought up before the end of their relationship. Like, I haven't seen too much mentioned by Rocky about what happened, like, during the relationship. It's all hearsay anyway. But the May 21st, 2016, that's a really interesting one. She would have had to have known, because there was lies about destruction and damage and all of these things, and police officers and blah. Well, you would have to know at that point that's not true. Like,
right.
At least half of this that she maybe witnessed was not true. So to then proceed with all of this now, and I want to make a really direct example here, and that's with Isaac. Okay, so remember Isaac said he loved Amber. They had a great relationship, and he liked all the friends too. He liked Rocky and Josh and everybody.
Yeah.
But the difference is, the second that he found out there was allegations of abuse and like all of this stuff allegedly happened, he was like, no way. Like, we can't talk anymore. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
What does Rocky do? Sure, where do you want me to sign? What witness statement do you want me to sign? I'll do depositions. I'll go to court. I'll do whatever you want. Do you think it was because she wanted to stay in the penthouse? Is that what it was initially?
Now, see, I was just having a thought process of because watching her deposition and watching Amber watch her deposition in court, because Rocky started crying and like honestly crying during it. And so I was like, what are those tears for? Because they were talking about why their friendship broke down and all of these things. And Amber too was crying. Like she was doing her best to show some kind of emotion, but there was an emotion there. Yeah.
Is anybody looking? Yeah.
Picture up. So, does Amber have something on Rocky? She must.
That was my first thought. And you know what? It's so funny because one of my mates, KG, actually he saw that bit and we talked about that the other day because she, on day one, clearly her deposition was across 2 days, right? Rocky's deposition.
Yes.
And so on day
she went home.
Right. On day one, she was like, whatever. What are you asking me about? I don't care. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, some stuff happened, things and stuff. And then day two, day one was Johnny's team questioning her.
Yeah.
Day two, when Amber's team took over, she was like, my friend. Oh. And you're like, huh?
Yep.
What happened to not caring?
And the day before, she didn't really remember what happened.
Yes.
Funny how the next day she drank a margarita and all of a sudden those repressed memories came back and all of a sudden she remembered everything.
I think
so she went home and because we were saying like, did she not read her deposition? Like she couldn't even read her own deposition before walking into this meeting. Like, come on, common sense says at least brush up on what you said. Because it's been 6 years. We don't remember, right? Like I don't remember certain things. And if I did a deposition or if I did a video or something on it, then I'd be like, oh, right, that's what happened. Like
yeah, for sure.
Our minds are finical, flicky little things, and we easily forget, and we will turn like we can actually remember things wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
After a certain amount of time.
I mean, something so important. Read your bloody deposition. Read your statement.
Exactly. Read it. So we were saying, wow, man, like she couldn't even read it. Like she didn't care at all. And then they're like, now we're going to play the next day. We're like, there it is.
Yep.
There's her deposition.
There
down
she
to
is.
the time. There she is. Down to the time, down to, I had to go grab my key and this is what happened and blah, blah, blah. Like she went through her deposition almost word for word. And then the tears started. And so as I was saying, like, as we were watching those tears, I was like, okay, does Amber have something on her? And that's what she's thinking of right now. Is she thinking if I screw this up, X, Y, and Z is going to be exposed?
I truly believe that. I know we talk conspiracies on this channel and on this podcast, but I truly, truly believe that is what happened. That overnight, because remember, all the attorneys are present for the deposition. So even though Johnny's team was questioning, Amber's lawyers were there. They're all in the room together. So they said, geez, that wasn't going well. Rocky doesn't seem like she cares at all. She talked about how you punched her in the face and how you're not friends anymore. And then Amber went, she did what? And gave Rocky a bit of a phone call. Said, hey, Rocky, before tomorrow, you better clean this act up. I want to see tears. I want to see, you on point remembering all these things that I told you, not that actually happened, I told you happened. You better get your A game on, girl, or otherwise you're screwed. I truly believe that happened because it was such, and to anybody listening to this, watching, if you don't believe us, go back and just watch Rocky Pennington's deposition, day 1 to day 2, and you'll go, even if you don't know all the background, even if you don't know all the backstory, you'll still just go, what just happened? Like,
yeah.
Who are these
different people?
Yeah, who are these different people?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
very, very odd. Very odd. But no repercussions for her.
No repercussions for Amber. No repercussions for Rocky for making stuff up, perjuring herself. And, you said maybe we should move on to Josh because Josh is her
Screw
fiance.
You, I was just going to say. And then there's Josh, world's best witness.
Let's get our PJs on and talk about Josh. Okay, so Josh, you're right. He kind of was like he was kind of like an unlovable idiot, wasn't he?
Right.
Like
Right.
he was just being like a marionette,
Yeah.
puppeted along.
Poor guy. Yeah.
Now, I mean, he is still responsible for the things that he's done too, and all of that.
Right.
But, and I do think, to be honest, I do think he was lying when it came to the damage in the penthouse and all of those things. And any single time he insinuated that Johnny was abusive was absolutely a lie. But
yeah,
I agree. He was, so Rocky may have been told. So Rocky and Josh were fiancé, they were engaged, whatever. They were in a relationship. And they were both living in Johnny's penthouses, in one of the penthouses. So Amber told Rocky things. And Rocky went, well, I trust my friend. And yes, that's what happened. Yeah. And then she went to Josh and said, Josh, this is what happened. Or this is what's been happening with Amber. And he went, well, I trust my fiance, my partner, whatever. And so
exactly.
Amber says to Rocky, and then I'm just following all these things along. Amber says to Rocky, Rocky, we need to do this towards the end of the relationship. We need to do this and we need to do these statements. And then Rocky says to Josh, well, Josh, we need to do these statements. And he goes, okay, all right, I'll do these statements and do all this stuff. And so they end up telling this big lie that none of them ever thought would be exposed. But it is. It is.
Because in Josh's deposition, and I do believe Josh only did one, because that deposition that we saw for this trial was the same one from like 2000. Like it
2019,
was
I think it was. Yeah.
2019. Yeah, it was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he ever had to come back, even though he was deposed a few times. He does have a few subpoenas, so I don't know what happened there. Anywho, in that deposition that he did, he said, I don't know what to believe when it comes to this.
Right.
When they asked him, do you believe this? He said, I don't know what to believe.
Right.
Because they asked, who's paying your legal fees? Amber is. All right. When was the last time you saw Amber? About a month ago. When was the last time you saw her before that? 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't going to talk about the case? Oh, no, the case was only brought up for like 2 minutes. Horse shit.
Yeah, bullshit.
I call horse shit.
Yeah.
And that is where his mythical story that I've made up in mind about him falls to pieces. It's like, you can't see that what just happened. Like, she didn't talk to you for 3 years, but all of a sudden her UK, like, and that's the thing, like, it's not even her UK trial. It was the son. She had nothing to do with it, but she had to make sure that what she said, like, it's, like, it's not even hers, but she had to make sure that they were all in line. Like, why not just say, it's not my trial. It's not my circus, man.
Holy shit. You just blew my noodle again. I don't know how you do this, but you did it again. So you just got, when you said that, I was like, not only was Amber not a party to the trial in the UK, neither were a bunch of those witnesses at all. Like, the Dan Wooten article was Johnny Depp's a wife popper, how could J.K. Rowling, all of that. Amber wasn't even a party. He said it was based on her TRO and everything. But what the hell? They were not even really needing to be involved. Rocky, Josh, all of them were not needing to be involved. So, but Amber's credibility was on the line, because even though it didn't
7 million was on the line.
Exactly. It wasn't getting questioned in the UK like it was in Virginia. But it was still in question, her credibility. And so she was like, oh, shit, I better get all my my freeloaders back. Better get all those people who lied for me back. So she got Josh and Rocky and everybody again. Oh, I did not even think of that. Thank you. I enjoyed that.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, why haul all these people back in when it was against the son and Dan Wooten?
Yeah.
Like, where does Amber Heard come in?
Yep.
Did Amber give him more information? Did she confirm it when he called and said, hey, like, how true is this? Because, I think this should just be, a fair warning to everybody. We cannot go around calling people wife poppers just randomly because we don't like someone.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, there should be more repercussions for people who go around slandering others just because we don't like them.
Absolutely should. And it should be a harsh punishment, because there needs to be a deterrent. That's the thing. There needs to be a deterrent. Like, I mean, there's there's sentences for everything else, and there's deterrents for everything else. Why not make a deterrent for this? You know?
Yeah.
And make an example of Amber and her freeloading friends. But with Josh as well, he did actually lie directly, and I feel multiple times, but, you know, I'm talking about specifically one that you can observe with your eyeballs, or two, let's just say two. The damage on May 21st, 2016, which was not there in the body cam footage of the police officers. And the second one, which I always find is a really important one for me, is the fact that he said categorically in his witness statement for the UK that the second set of police officers took Amber aside and had a private conversation with her.
Yes, and they also did a tour, same as the first.
And they did a tour. So that's some pretty big things to say that did not happen. Did not happen. And then Amber wanted to go on the stand and say, oh, they didn't do their job properly. They didn't bother to do this after the body cam came out. Oh, they didn't bother to do this. They didn't bother to do that. And it's like, come on, lady.
It's like, but you said they did.
You said they did.
Like,
and now you just don't like it because the proof's come out.
Right.
Yeah.
She didn't think that was coming.
No.
She honestly didn't.
Nope.
Man alive. Like, come on.
Yep.
But Josh now, he gets to go back to his life.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have he didn't have the career interruption that Johnny did. He didn't have the public scrutiny that Johnny did. He didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
You can't go in to someone's life, create such havoc, and just slip out and slip back into your old life like nothing ever happened, to watch the destruction publicly of the person that you just destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, and it's maddening because this happens, and not on the world stage, but it happens in people's personal worlds, that there's a false allegation, and that false allegation, they could lose their job, they lose their home, they lose their children, they can lose their job, they lose their money, they lose everything, and everyone around them is just watching it happen.
Yeah. And
watching this car wreck happen, and there's no repercussions for people who are not standing up saying, wait a minute, I think there's something fishy here. Like, even if we're not sure, especially, intuition usually will tell us that something isn't quite right here.
Yep.
At least speak up and say, you know what, like, I don't know, like something doesn't feel right, and look into it. Like, we need to stick up for humans more than ever. And I just think that if everyone, spent the time, and I speak for myself as well, I put myself in this category. We just spent 2-3 years, like me personally, 2-3 years digging in and defending Deb.
Yeah.
If I can do that for, a stranger who's got, no impact on my life whatsoever, I can do that for my friend.
Exactly. Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And, you just got me thinking about that too. They really did take advantage of Johnny's kind nature. Clearly, like, they took advantage of that. But again, and I use this example because they are very similar in, if you take away personalities, the situations are very similar with Isaac, right? Isaac Baruch, who lived in the penthouses as well.
Love Isaac.
So I love Isaac. But they were all living there, right? But the moment that Johnny got into trouble with money, his management group screwed him over and he had money issues, right? Isaac was like, oh, well, I'll move out. I'll sell some paintings. I'll contribute. I'll do something to help you. And what did Rocky and Josh do? They went, we'll help Amber fuck you over some more.
Right. Yeah.
And this is all
we'll
now. We'll help. Yeah. And this is right around the time. Let's not forget this part too. This is right around the time when his mum died. So May 20th, 2016, his mum dies, and Amber then tries to fuck him over with all this stuff.
Yep.
Right. Like,
well, she caught him at his lowest moment in life, right?
Yeah.
Like that is your lowest possible moment. And even though, he's not a fan of his mother, like it's still his mom. Like he still loved his mom, even though there was, that.
Of course.
She was, anyway. That's still a low moment. And the thing is with these kind of people is that they will strike at your lowest moment. Like when you think you can't go any lower, they'll surprise you and take you even lower.
Yeah. That's so true.
So she saw this as I just believe as a lurch point, like a time to strike. She's like, well, he won't see this coming because he's too distraught about the death of his mother, and he'll just. What I think she thought was that he will be so distraught and so focused on this other thing that he won't even think twice about just giving her what she wants to make that thing go away. Like, I'm sure she figured out how he functions. And if you figure out that someone just will do whatever it takes just to make the thing go away.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
She's like, well, he'll just do whatever it takes to make me go away. And I'm telling him what the thing will be to make me go away. And he's just going to do it.
I agree. I totally agree. She did that all on purpose, and it makes me sick. Like, it actually makes me sick that this is the person she was meant to love and who definitely loved her. And his mum dies. She pulls this shit. It's Lily Rose's birthday at the end of that week as well.
Yeah. TRO day.
Yeah, all of this stuff is going on. And she treated him like absolute shit. And it makes me sick too now thinking back to that audio. The phone call audio? Where she's basically, the tell the world Johnny phone call. It just makes me sick that his mum had just died, and that's the way that she's talking to him. That is the way that she's talking to him. Like, I know she was a bitch the rest of the time as well in their relationship, but in that moment, you just can't even be nice. I mean, holy shit. A nice person, in my mind, would in that situation would say, do you know what? Let's not even talk about it. Let's just pump the brakes on everything. Let's wait a month or 2 months, whatever long it takes.
Whatever you need.
Whatever you need. Let's just wait and we'll sort it all out then.
Yeah.
Fuck me. But you're right. She just said, this is the perfect time for him to just give me what I want. But what she didn't realize was that she pushed him so far, he was done. Yeah. And he said in that same audio that I was talking about a second ago, he said, I'll see you in court. I will see you in court. And she'd never expected that to happen. Now, that being said, it took a long time, 6 years later, 2022, to get the verdict that was, a good verdict, the correct verdict. And so she did actually kind of win initially. She got the money. She didn't get everything she wanted. She didn't get the Range Rover and all that rubbish. But she
didn't get the $50,000 a month, did she? Like she didn't get that.
That's just to cover the wine. But she didn't.
Unbelievable! Like,
yeah,
I can't fathom asking. Like, okay, I'm just going to put myself in this position for just a hot second.
Okay.
So I'm going from my income and my lifestyle as it is now. Okay. I'm comfortable. I'm fine. I'm comfortable, right? Then I go to Johnny Depp level comfort. Johnny Depp level, like his wife comfort.
Yeah.
The fact that I know that I'm fully okay going back to this life, who the fuck do I think I am asking for $50,000 a month?
Right. $50,000 a month. Like, for what?
For what? Exactly.
For what?
For what?
What the hell?
What? You've got a penthouse paid for. You've got a Range Rover paid for. Muskie gave you a Tesla. So you got 2 cars now. You've got the millions on top of it. What are you paying for monthly? Your cell phone bill really that high? Is cable that high in Hollywood? Like, is internet? What's going on? What is she paying for? What is she buying? I don't understand.
Maybe it was a Tinder account. I don't know. I don't even know if you have to pay for that shit. But she...
I'm fucking confused.
But you're right.
Oh
what the hell was she spending the money on? And Miss Charity. I love charity. I've done charity my whole life. How much did she ask for charity in that? Oh, just $500. Just $500.
No, that's what she gave before.
$500.
Yeah, that was on her tax receipts. That's what she gave in the past years for charity, 500.
Yeah, well, exactly. But she put that on her list of demands too, as because $500 was going to go to charity as well, so that she could make payments of 500 to charity as well. But she wanted 10 grand a month or something for her clothes.
Yeah.
But she was so gracious and such an angelic person, so kind that she would give $500 to charity while she spends 10 grand on clothes.
Something tells me she got a lot of clothes for free, being Depp's wife.
Well, of course she did. Of course she did.
Wear this beside Johnny on the red carpet. You can keep it.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. And none of this shit had to come out. It really didn't. She could have kept her mouth shut. And the world would have been none the wiser. And she could have gone on, nothing like Vanessa, but she could have gone on and been like, I was Johnny Depp's wife, and ridden the coattails of that still for a very long time.
Yeah.
But
do you think it bothers her that Vanessa doesn't need to do that? Like, Vanessa's a name all on her own. Like,
I think so.
Outside of being Depp's ex and the mother of his children, like, she is her own.
Yeah.
Individual woman who, she has an actual name. She is Vanessa Paradis. Like, do you think it bothers her that
absolutely
that she's
it does.
able to stand on her own 2 feet, on her own without the coattails of Johnny, but just the Johnny's just a bonus.
And that's why Kate Moss pissed her off so much as well.
Yes.
That's why,
because Johnny was with her longer.
Yeah.
Did you see her face when she's like, how long were you with him? And she's I don't forget how long. And Amber's like,
yeah,
longer than me.
I feel like Amber's jealous of everybody. She's probably jealous of Morgan Tremaine as well in his 15 minutes of fame. Because he's a more popular dude than she is. Like, he's a more popular person than Amber is. And, it's just a guy from TMZ who told the truth. So they're like, but I think she gets jealous at so many people. And again, one more time, that's why Camille was perfect for the examination of Amber. Ooh, she was perfect because she hated every second of that, as in Amber did.
Yeah, she did. So let's talk about IO for a second.
Screw you this time, because that's what I was just about to say.
Let's talk about IO, because he's another freeloader. Now, not in the same context that Josh and Rocky were, because IO he lived at one of the Sweetser houses. I'm not sure which one. Anyway.
Yeah.
He did live off of Johnny for a little bit, and he was the loudest voice of all of them. Yeah. He definitely took this as an opportunity to make a name for himself. And oh, fuck me if he did not make a name for himself that he's probably wishing he didn't right now.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, he wrote an article, Why I Called 911.
Yep. Talking about Amber and all these things that he didn't witness,
yep.
But
Yeah. Completely attacked one of our YouTube friends, Brian.
Yeah.
Completely attacked him for no good reason.
Yeah.
Threatened his own lawsuit on him for no good reason, only because Brian was telling the truth.
Yep.
Just really made a lot of noise, a lot of posts, a lot of Twitter posts that said, I will tell the truth. I will get in front of a judge, a jury, I don't care who I have to tell. I'm just going to get up there and I'm going to tell the truth. Still waiting.
We'd love that.
I'm still waiting.
We would absolutely adore that if you would tell the truth.
Yeah.
That'd just be perfect. But I feel it's never coming.
But do you think he's another one of these people? Because he really didn't directly benefit from this friendship. Well, he did, though. That's the thing.
It's the clout, babe. It's the clout chasers.
Yeah, it's the clout chaser. Yeah, so he did get some clout because of it. But do you think quite possibly he's just another one that? Well, I feel like he's another Eve Barlow that he loved Amber so much.
Oh,
and wanted nothing more than to be with Amber, that he would have done and believed anything.
Yeah, totally agree. And let's backtrack 1 second here. Io is not a good person. I just want to say that. He's actually not a good person.
Not a fan.
Now, Johnny himself said that he was good friends with Io, and he really liked Io. They had like some kind of connection, and Johnny felt really close to Io. But Io did something with Lily Rose, Johnny's daughter, that from that day on, Johnny said, nope, we're no longer friends. That's it, done. So Io's not a good person at all. And so I agree, absolutely wanted in with Amber, wanted her so badly, would do anything. Never saw Johnny do anything at all to Amber or to anyone, of course. But there was so much clout for Io to get. Now, Io's I don't know what his title is, producer, something,
internet journalist.
Internet journalist. So the clout that comes along with anything to do with Johnny Depp is huge, right? Like, I mean, if your name is mentioned anywhere with Johnny Depp, of course it's going to blow up. It's going to be all over the place. And writing an opinion piece, why I called 911, I mean, it was
poor form.
It was poor form, and Io knew. Johnny's dished me. Like, he called me out on me being a shit person. And so my only way to get clout going forward is with Amber. And so, and plus he loved her, of course, and wanted to be with her. Yeah. That's our opinion, but, it looks as though he wanted to just be with her, much like Eve Barlow does right now. Oh. Yeah. And Eve. So, lots of clout there for Io. And again, with the posts and everything, the Instagram and Twitter and all those posts and everything, if you really had the conviction behind what you're saying and you believed what you were saying, why not leave the posts up?
Screw you, I was just going to say.
Why delete them all?
Where are they now?
Yeah.
Yeah, why delete them? Where are they now?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
Like.
Yeah. If you're telling the truth, why not just leave them up?
Yeah. If I was so sure that I was telling the truth, much like I have for the last 3 years, I stand by it and say, I think this is the truth. This is what I believe. And if anyone can show me anything different, I'll listen.
Yep. 100%.
But no one could ever do it. So no repercussions for him either. He did something with Johnny's daughter, like, not that sounded horrible. He used her in such a way that was not appropriate for one of his campaigns.
Yeah.
He definitely abused his access to her.
Yes, 100%.
We'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
No repercussions. Lied.
Mm-hmm.
No repercussions. He gets to go off and live his life.
Yeah.
In 2 years, a lot of people are not, like, there's the Depp community that will never forget, but then you got the people who are just on the outskirts.
Right.
Who are like, who?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, right. That guy that wrote the thing a few years ago about the thing. Like, he gets to move on. Rocky gets to go have a life. Josh gets to go have a life. Unfortunately, Amber's sister does not get to go on and have a life because she is indebted to her sister for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
I feel, in my own humble opinion, I think she's a prisoner. I think she's a prisoner of her sister. I
agree. I mean, she's a prisoner, and also you can't go through life, I don't think, being stuck with someone like Amber for your entire life and not have some of her character rub off on you as well. Mm-hmm. Like, because for two reasons. One being that it's just like a natural infusion of energy between the two of them. Some of it's going to rub off. But the other thing is as well, that as an individual who's been treated poorly by Amber, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be angry, you're going to have all of these feelings yourself, which will come out as well. Because from my understanding, Whitney has been, to people surrounding the case, quite mean and vindictive, and, not sweet little Whitney that probably, Amber wants to say, my little tiny teeny baby sister who was in a crib on the stairs.
He was my baby sister was the top of the flight of the stairs. That's so hard to say.
The
That's
top of
so
the flight
hard
of
to
the
say.
stairs.
Like, she's so angry when she's saying this,
Yeah.
top of the flight of the stairs. And I'm thinking, how did you get that out of your mouth? Very hard thing to say.
It really is. I'm not even going to try that, actually. I was going to try it. I'm not going to try it.
The accent might trip you up.
It might. Well, let's blame that. Let's blame that. It's the accent. But Whitney, talking about Whitney now. So look, she's kind of a tough one. And I mean, you say freeloader. Johnny did love Whitney. And I feel like they had a bond because they were both victims of Amber. That's how I feel about it. I think we're both victims of Amber. They connected on that level. And, Johnny, even in the Virginia trial, kind of still protected her in a way because he didn't go as hard as he could have gone.
They could have ripped her all to shreds.
Exactly.
And they just didn't. We were waiting for it. We're like, where's the boom? Give us the boom. Like, we're waiting for it. Like, so that's what we paid our admission ticket for. And nothing. Yeah. It was quite a from where I sit, because I want these people to have accountability.
Yes. Yeah.
That, at least publicly call them out. Walk down the street with the bells singing shame, like, do something. And there was nothing. It was such a huge letdown. But if that was Johnny's choice, then I respect that choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the other thing too to mention here is, okay, so we talked about Rocky, Josh, and Io, but let's talk about Amber, Io, and Josh, and a conversation that they had about Whitney and kicking her out of the penthouses. So Whitney did live at the penthouses too for a little while.
Yep.
And they had a conspiracy. They had a little meeting about how they could get Whitney out of the penthouse. Now, to me, when I hear that, I go, what the hell? Just ask her to leave. Like, if you actually genuinely, there's a reason you don't want her there or anybody there, just ask them to leave. And, Johnny's reaction was surrounding that meeting was, just figure it out. I don't know. Like, he obviously got frustrated because to him, I imagine it would have been very simple too. Like, if you don't want her here, then just tell her. But they were trying to...
adult.
Right. They were trying to figure out a way to get her out of the penthouse.
Well, that just goes to show the mentality, like the emotional intelligence and the emotional age of these people, I feel.
Yeah.
Because you're absolutely right. If you don't want someone living in your space anymore, or you just say, hey, you know what? Like, because of X, Y, and Z, I got to give you 30 days or 60 days or whatever it is. I'll help you look. But, this just isn't feasible anymore. You're living here for free. It's not feasible anymore. Whatever.
Yeah.
But to have to scheme and have to create a scenario where, like, it's just ridiculous. Like, ask them to leave, and if they won't leave, then call the cops. Like, there's a nice way to do that, instead of creating, having meetings over creating a scheme to get someone out of your house. Just tell them to leave. If that doesn't work, call the cops. Like, it must have been exhausting.
But you know
around
what?
them all the time. I feel so sorry for him, especially at that age. He doesn't want to deal with that.
Right.
He doesn't want to deal with 20-year-old nonsense when he's 50.
He
already dealt with that when he was 20.
I actually think that, you're right. I actually think the staircase incident, I mean, I know we heard it, and, Johnny, there was a fight, there was an argument, all that stuff. But it wouldn't surprise me because Whitney was there. Obviously, we know that because she was in a little, bassinet. But it wouldn't surprise me if Amber and Whitney were having an argument that day. And that was really what got everything all riled up and worked up, because Amber was saying exactly that. Or Whitney found out that they were having a conversation to get rid of her out of the penthouse. And she was like, what are you doing? Why do you want me out of the penthouse? And then we know how Amber reacts to everything. So she went off. Johnny was probably like, what the hell's going on? Walked into it. And then she starts going at Johnny. And then everybody's, then we heard what happened, all of that stuff. But hence why Whitney then went to Jen Howe's place and was like, I was scared she was going to do something to Johnny. I was scared, all of these things. Not I was scared for myself. Not I was scared for Amber. I was scared for Johnny. I don't know. The way that, like, seeing the all of these people now talk on the stand, that's just what I feel kind of happened. Like there was this conspiracy to get rid of Whitney. She maybe found out, said, "Hey, why are you trying to get rid of me?" And then Amber just went off, as she does. Because you can imagine, she chases Johnny around 6, 7, 15 bathrooms when he's trying to get away with it. Imagine what she does to Whitney. I mean, it's crazy, absolutely insane.
You could be absolutely correct, sir.
Thank you, miss.
She claims it was about a text message and nude photos or something. Here's the thing. We can't control what people send us.
Right.
How we react and behave after that thing has happened, we're responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone sends me something that's inappropriate, it's up to me to say, this is inappropriate. Please don't do that.
Yes.
But it's not up to my partner to get mad at me that the fact it was sent in the first place. I had no control over that. Yes. My course of action and my responsibility starts and ends after it's already sent.
Yes. Yep.
Let the person know this is inappropriate. I don't like it. I will block you if need be. That's it.
Right. Totally.
But she got mad at him. Like, she was always mad at him. Always. He was always in trouble.
Yeah. And look, so many people would understand that, empathize with that situation, have been through similar situations where everything is an argument, everything is something you've done wrong. And, she, of course, was extreme in a lot of cases, but horrible, horrible situation for Johnny. I mean, Whitney's kind of, part of me feels sorry for Whitney, but another part, she does know what she's doing. She does know what's right, what's wrong, and all of that.
Right.
And she, I just wish she could have stood up and stood up for the person that she actually loved in Johnny. They actually had a good relationship. I mean, I just wish she could have stood up and told the truth. But we're actually coming towards the end here. And so we've talked about the freeloaders. We've talked about Josh. We've talked about Rocky, Io, Whitney. We mentioned Isaac. Love you, Isaac. And
not a freeloader.
Not a freeloader. Awesome dude. I love that man.
Yeah. Love him.
But really, at the end of the day, like you said at the beginning, I think there's no repercussions for any of these people for the lies that they've told. Yet Johnny's life was destroyed for more than 6 years. Absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. And there's still people who are like not accepting this verdict.
Yeah.
They're like, well, the UK. It's like, well,
fuck the UK.
Until the UK. And that's the thing. Like, I think this thing for this to be unraveled in such a way that, not everyone's going to agree, because, there's, a lot of the population still likes to believe all women.
Mm-hmm.
And Me Too is not going to let it go. I don't think. Like, I think that's just a closed door that I don't know what will need to happen. Anywho.
Yeah.
Like, I think until the UK reopens and takes another look, that there's always going to be the people that say, well, UK. It's like, well, did you look into it? Did you read it?
That's the exact voice. Did you read it?
Yeah.
That's the exact voice too, but they do it with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you read it on Twitter, you're like, I know how you sound right now.
And the hands on the hip as well. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can.
You're so right. But with the
with the face.
Yeah, with the face.
Thinking they're all right.
Yeah, everyone stepped on a bee.
Yeah.
But with the UK, I just want to say this because you mentioned Me Too. A lot of people wouldn't know this who've just watched the Virginia trial. Me Too, okay, there's an advocate for Me Too named Catherine Kendall. And she testified on Johnny's behalf.
Yes.
Because she was screwed over by the Sun newspaper, who did an interview with her, then went and took it completely out of context and lied about what she said. And she actually said, as a Me Too advocate, she thought Amber was the abusive one. And that was way back when, in like 2019. So, yeah, a Me Too advocate was on Johnny's side way back then. So,
what does that say? And this was a friend of Amber's. Like, this was Amber's friend.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as she heard those audios, she's like, I don't think so.
Nope.
I don't care if that's not the conversation you were having or not. You still admitted to hitting him.
It wouldn't surprise me if Amber was asked again and she was like, in the audio, actually, no, that's aliens taking over my body. Yeah, that's what that is.
I don't know what you heard. I heard static.
Yeah.
That's not what I heard.
When I woke up,
I don't know what you heard.
Yeah, when I woke up, I didn't remember anything that happened that day. Like, sorry, the head turning just gets me every time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress.
Someone told her that was a good idea.
Yeah.
She took it way too far.
Exactly.
Way too far.
Well, thanks for such a good discussion again. I always feel like these just fly by.
They do. But yeah, no repercussions for people, and that goes, on the world stage and in our own little worlds too.
Yeah,
no repercussions for people who go in and damage people's lives, and I think we need to change that. We have so many stupid laws that you can't marry a goat, but yet this is allowed. Like, how is me marrying a goat ruining anybody's lives? How is that ruining anybody's lives? But I can actively go out and ruin someone's life and blow it up. And, whatever happens with their life, I really don't care. But I get to go on and be okay.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
It is not
okay. We
okay.
have taken way too much advantage of being so connected with it. We've become so connected with people that we don't see them as people anymore.
Well, that's just it. Well, but we've become so connected on a disconnected platform or in a disconnected avenue using social media or online stuff like that. It's not a real human connection. Which, if it was, I feel people would they wouldn't be able to avoid that humanity. Some people have that humanity so far down and they can't access it, and they're dicks. But when you're in person, one-on-one, that humanity is harder to avoid and harder to ignore. So you're so right. You nailed it.
Yeah. Well, because we've said it, numerous times, more than we can count, that when we have people like just saying horrible things to us, I was like, well, they wouldn't never say this to my face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, unless you come say it to my face, I'm really not going to take you seriously at all.
Yeah.
Because you're just a big tough guy sitting behind a screen.
Yep. Exactly.
And that means nothing to me. Like, and that's what we've become. We've become keyboard, bullies and just keyboard friends.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So,
but we need those repercussions.
Need to remember that there are other people. There are people like I don't know what happened. I don't know where it all went wrong, but we need to have things in place.
We do. And we need laws to prevent people from making false accusations and penalties to follow it up. 100%.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Because as soon as there's some sort of hard punishment, guess how many allegations will stop rolling in?
Exactly. 99% of them.
Mm-hmm. And then that gives room for the actual victims to come forward. It gives more time for that investigation. Because trust me, we're still going to investigate, but we're going to have more time.
Yes, the resources.
Instead, we'll have the resources to do it and the resources to punish the person who did the thing to you.
Yeah. Good point. Really good point.
We won't have people in jail eating up tax dollars because of a false allegation. We'll have the actual perpetrators that actually did it.
Yep.
Serving the time.
And what the justice system is meant to be for is to get criminal people and people who do the wrong thing off the streets. Because who else is Amber going to do this to? I know there's people out there who are very worried about what she's going to do next because of the type of person she is. So the sooner she gets charged for perjury in any number of countries, if for any number of reasons or any number of times she perjured herself, the better. Get her off the streets, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this episode today. I certainly did. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I guess we'll see you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care, guys.